Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and if you hear a blower in the background, that is because there is one. My neighbor across the street is getting his yard blown and the street blown as we speak. Sorry for that, but we're going to proceed because we have too much good information. Now this is from yesterday evening. I saw this come across and I was immediately like, whoa. Ripple is buying back shares from investors. Despite crazy headwinds with the SEC, we grew very quickly. CEO Brad Garlinghouse said the company is buying back shares from investors who gave it $200 million in 2019. Ripple has bought back shares it issued. Let's see, it says, Ripple secured Series C funding led by Tetragon with investments from SBI Holdings and Route 66 at a $10 billion valuation in late 2019. Ripple is reacquiring the equity shares at a $15 billion valuation, which suggests the investors made a 50% profit in just over 2 years. The company did not confirm details of the transaction beyond the company valuation. Tetragon and Route 66 could not immediately be reached for comment, and SBI Holdings declined to comment. Share buybacks are uncommon, but not unheard of among venture-backed companies. Typically, they are a very inefficient use of capital for startups. Redpoint, all right. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, okay, if you remember, Tetragon, when the SEC lawsuit dropped on Ripple, Tetragon, as I recall, either threatened or did sue Ripple, okay? And they did it because, as I recall, they had some kind of clause in when they bought the Ripple shares. They had some kind of clause that if XRP was declared a security, that they could they could get their money back or something like that. And as I recall, in that lawsuit or whatever was going on in that, it was either determined, or I saw at one point that they couldn't, that it had not been determined. There was an SEC lawsuit, but Ripple was fighting it, and so there was not an official closing of the case or a declaration of XRP as a security. So when I first read this, I had a flashback to, I grew up in the home building and development business, and my dad, I remember occasionally he would have people that he just couldn't do business with, and he would have to get them out of a deal, buy them out or whatever. That's what I thought of when I first saw this. The other thing I thought of from real estate too is that this is the equivalent. It makes me wonder if Ripple knows that they're going to IPO soon, because they just got what we call in real estate a comp or a comparable. In other words, let's say your house is in a neighborhood, and you just found out that your neighbor's house sold for $200 a square foot. Well, now you can use that sale, since it's in your neighborhood, especially if it's close by and similar to your house. You can now say, well, his was sold for $200 a share, so now mine's worth $200 a share. Well, that is what I think this is more than anything. This is just me talking. I believe that this was establishing a value, or establishing a value, a pre-end of the SEC lawsuit value that's even more than what Ripple. You remember an article in CNBC a year or so ago where Ripple got a $10 billion valuation. Now they're getting a $15 billion valuation, okay? More than when the SEC lawsuit dropped. Well, Brad Garlinghouse came in on this, excited to announce Ripple bought back our C shares at $15 billion valuation. 2022 slowdown is not in our vocabulary. Even with 2021's headwinds, it was our best year on record, and Ripple's financial position, $1 billion in the bank in cash, is the strongest we've ever been. RippleNet is much more than cross-border payments. It's bringing crypto-native services such as liquidity to enterprises. Today, the network has a volume run rate better than $10 billion. Huge props to the team for continuously upping their game and leaning into new capabilities every year. RippleX full speed ahead on establishing a multitude of capabilities to the XRP ledger, NFTs, CBDCs, interoperability bridges, side chains, and so much more, working hand in hand with devs and partners around the world. It's a multi-chain world after all. So that's good stuff. Now, Craig DeWitt weighed in, greater than $10 billion of faster, cheaper payments, just getting started. Charles Gasparino picked up on this. Breaking, Ripple says it now has a $15 billion market value after buying back all of its outstanding private shares held by investors since being issued in 2019. SEC case is going and obviously could impact future sales of private stock. Then Eleanor Terrett comes in. Ripple tells us business is booming despite SEC tensions. This move really underscores the strength of their business model and position in the market. Moving forward, now I had tweeted this out last night. If this were real estate, Ripple just established a comp. Big news. That's what I think. Now, check this out. This is huge, folks. This is huge. Okay? Nick Burafedo, who works at Link2. Remember, we've been talking to you about Link2 private equity for accredited investors. I just watched this is after that article came out. I just watched $800,000 in Ripple shares go within 90 minutes. Link2 private investing made simple. Then Link2 tweeted this out. Ripple buyback values company at $15 billion. Private shares are available on our Link2 platform at $7 billion valuation. Invest today. Then they tweet out this, that it's all gone. Check back tomorrow. Don't miss your chance to pack your bags tomorrow. So they have, think about this for a minute. Ripple just showed that shares are valued at a $15 billion valuation for Ripple, but they're on the Link2 platform at a $7 billion valuation. So what does that mean? What that means is these guys, they just hinted that they're about to put Ripple back on the platform, and at a $7 billion valuation. What that says to me is that there's not going to be much more opportunity to even get these shares. So whatever you do, if you're in the game, if you're an accredited investor, or if you're thinking about opening a Link2 account and you haven't yet, go to linqto.com and open an account. I don't know how they do. I don't know if they will, but I don't know if a phone call can secure your shares or what. But you need to go download the app and find out, because I think you have to go in and apply to be accredited and all that stuff too. But definitely, if you're a customer, you need to go check it out, because they said, let me hit the refresh here. They said they hinted that they're gonna be adding new shares onto the platform today. All right, John Deaton is asking a question. Why is Eleanor Terrett and Charles Gasparino the only ones reporting all the facts, despite Hinman and the SEC claiming the speech was a personal opinion? Hinman repeatedly stated we at the SEC believe. Clayton did the same. And he's asking, why are they not covering this? At this point, we've done all of the work. Like I said here, great question. The lies are out in the open now. We already did all of your work for you. Julia Chatterley, CoinDesk, Cointelegraph, Decrypt Media, Laura Shin, who claims to be this crypto journalist, Squawkbox, Joe Squawk, Andrew Ross Sorkin, Becky Quick. Becky Quick said that people keep asking her about this whole Jay Clayton mess on Twitter. Well, we've got all your answers here, Becky. We have the timeline. We have the video. Now we have Jay Clayton on video saying that this was it was we believe, not Bill Hinman's personal opinion. Referred everybody to Bill Hinman's speech. Why aren't you guys covering this? Do you want to have any credibility left? Because you won't if you keep up at this rate. Then Mint NFT comes out and says, excited to work with Ripple and bring NFTs to the XRP ledger with infrastructure that supports collectors and creators alike. And they're retweeting Ripple's 2022 predictions. There's a lot of things going on, folks. And I'll remind you, the thing that caught my eye in this Ripple tweet from yesterday, new pressure to redefine NFT infrastructure. When I read that, what I read is new pressure to redefine the NFT infrastructure because we have the video and we have the timeline and we busted all these Web3 jerks that were trying to create a monopoly for Ethereum. Period. That's what I read. They got busted. We got the video, and the irony is that it was their own arrogance. They couldn't not run their mouths. They couldn't just shut up after they got their Ethereum free pass and intentionally, in my opinion, blocked out all of the other crypto, especially all other potential smart contract competition. Now, Kathy Woods, ARK Invest, predicts the price of one Bitcoin could exceed $1 million by 2030. It seems like she's said that before. Breaking news, Russia openly considering accelerating its decision to ditch the U.S. dollar in favor of its national currency when dealing with top trade partner China. During an interview with state-run TASS Russian news agency on Tuesday, Denisov said the two nations are switching to national currencies when it comes to bilateral transactions. Let's see here. I can assure you, this is John Deaton, I can assure you that Gary Gensler, Bill Hinman, Jay Clayton, Mark Berger, and several other non-U.S., non-SEC officials do not want an investigation ordered. A formal investigation comes with subpoena power. Think emails, bank records, and digital wallet addresses. Folks, if there is an investigation, which is so warranted here, if there's an investigation of this Ethereum free pass and all this that begins, and folks, if I'm Bill Hinman, I am hoping and praying that Gary Gensler and his crew are not Gary Gensler, but all the people behind him, all these politicians that are propping him up. If these guys get booted out of office in these midterms, watch out, folks, because when I see digital wallet addresses, emails, I'm thinking about Joseph Lubin trying to help disguise whale purchases, because if anybody ever goes down that road, it's going to lead back to some big, big, big boys. You know it, and I know it. All right. Now Ripple also tweeted this. We're excited to hear that the concept of a digital dollar is being taken seriously and appreciate the Fed's openness to hearing from the public on this issue. We believe that public-private collaboration is the best way to ensure fully informed outcomes. Meanwhile, we know that Craig DeWitt has been named vice chairman of the Faster Payments Task Force, which was one of the sponsoring members was the Federal Reserve. 2 + 2 = 4, folks. Now this was interesting. This came out yesterday. Meta, which was Facebook and now called Meta, reportedly abandons the Diem stablecoin project after intense global opposition. And you know what else they're doing right now? Is the IMF is going to El Salvador and they're saying, look, we don't want you to have Bitcoin as a legal tender. You need to make that go away. Can you see? Look, folks, it was never Bitcoin. I don't know how many times I have to say it. It was never Bitcoin. There was an attempt to make it about Ethereum, and I think that we have drop-kicked those jerks for what they tried to do. But this Diem thing is now being pushed out of the way. Do you see the playing field forming? Then Ripple's talking about, what was their words again? Let me pull that back up. I'm going back to where they were. That Ripple tweet, if I can find it. Let's see. Right here. New pressure to redefine the NFT infrastructure. Almost like there was an attempt at a Web3 infrastructure where Ethereum was a monopoly and it was all built on that. But you know what? I was talking to somebody yesterday on the phone. You know what we were talking about is, think about what has happened. If they first of all, they give Ethereum and Bitcoin a free pass. They let those two, which are the subpar technologies compared to just about everything else, for 3 years. They let that be the crypto market for 3 freaking years. By regulatory capture, they boxed everybody else out. After 3 years, the guys at Ethereum still can't deliver on Ethereum 2.0. And the product doesn't work. The product that's being protected by the SEC does not work. Bitcoin doesn't work. Proof of work doesn't work. And they still can't deliver. And now, they've been busted. That's the fact, Jack. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that with all of the advantages in the world, with regulatory clarity, and with years to do it, the Ethereum guys still couldn't get Ethereum 2.0 out the door. Now they have to change the name because I have a hunch somebody's about to go after them.